how's it going? Welcome to the video. Hope you're all doing well. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing slash reviewing probably the most important and significant coaster ever. No, it's not Blue Streak. It is that bad boy right there, Magnum XL 200. So the first time I rode Magnum XL 200 was in the summer of 1992. Actually, it was August of 1992. It was right before the 4th grade, and I went to Cedar Point with my parents and my brother. Now, before this trip, I had absolutely no idea what Cedar Point was or what a roller coaster was. And we left Magnum XL 200 as the last ride that we rode. And I was completely terrified to go on it. It was so tall, and I was terrified of heights at the time. But after I crested the lift hill on that first ride and started to feel the speed, it was just an awesome experience, and it completely blew me away. When I got off, I mean, there were no words. I just knew that I wanted to ride it again, and really that day and that moment is what made me into a roller coaster enthusiast. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to talk about a giveaway that I'm going to do here on this channel. So I said that Magnum XL 200 completely blew me away, and it did. That was one of two coasters that's ever blown me away. So for the giveaway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away a t-shirt to either Cedar Point or Kings Island, because in the near future those are the two parks that I plan on visiting. So how do you enter the giveaway? Number one, subscribe to the channel, and then number two, you need to be the first person in the comments to guess what the other roller coaster was that blew me away. There's only two. Magnum was the first one. So what was the other roller coaster that blew me away? And whoever guesses it right, I will get in touch with you through YouTube, and we'll go from there. Alright, so let's get into why I think Magnum XL 200 is the most important and significant roller coaster ever built, or at least in my lifetime. So as many of you know, it is the first roller coaster to be at least 200 feet high. When it was built, it also had the steepest angle of descent, and it was the fastest roller coaster ever to be built at 72 miles per hour. Just at the time, there was nothing better. It was really intense, and I think it's still intense and really fun. But what this coaster did was start the coaster wars. So other parks started battling each other to build the tallest and fastest roller coasters, which resulted in just more fun for coaster enthusiasts. So a little background on the name. They called it Magnum because the TV show Magnum PI was very popular at the time. The XL stands for extra long, and 200, obviously, that stands for the first coaster to be at least 200 feet tall. Alright, so let's get into the ride experience. Out of the station, you're going to go down a small hill and then turn right into the very slow chain lift. Now this has a classic aero sounding clinking sound. It can't be mistaken. You know you're on an aero when you hear that sound. I actually like the slow lift hill because it builds anticipation for the ride, and it also gives you time to take in the gorgeous views of the rest of the park and Lake Erie. So to the left you're going to see Gemini and Steel Vengeance, and if you kind of turn more you can see Maverick, and then obviously the views of Lake Erie out to the left and in front of you. To the right you're going to see the beautiful Hotel Breakers, and obviously what's right in front of you as you crest the lift hill, you're going to be able to see the water park and the rest of Lake Erie. The drop is still very fun and still pretty intense, but in my opinion, one of the most impressive things about this coaster is this second hill, because having the tallest coaster in the world wasn't good enough. They had to make the second hill taller than the tallest coaster in the park at the time, which was Gemini. And at 157 feet, that second hill is 32 feet taller than Gemini. And oh yeah, it also provides pretty good floater airtime. Then as you saw, you enter a tunnel, emerge from the tunnel, go over another airtime hill, you hit a trim brake, which does slow the train down pretty substantially. You go through this little pretzel, weird looking turnaround thing, and then head back, which this is the greatest part of the ride for a lot of people. The whole way back is just a series of little bunny hills and tunnels, which gives serious ejector airtime. Then you go through the last tunnel, hit the brake run, you kind of meander back to the station, and then the ride is over. After all these years, I think it's still a great coaster, and it's obviously a coaster that's real close to my heart. The coaster does have some cons, however, and one of them is that it's not necessarily the smoothest coaster out there. It was built by Aero, and some of the transitions are kind of janky, and depending on when you ride it, it might not be the smoothest experience. I've probably ridden this coaster, well, not probably, I have ridden this coaster more than any other coaster, and it has its good days, it has its bad days. Some days it is very rough, but other days it is on the smoother side. So I guess it just depends on when you ride it. You know, I can't find any rhyme or reason to why some days it runs better than others. It just does. Another so-called con about the ride is the restraints. It's kind of a weird looking lap bar, and because of the violent airtime that you get on the second half of the ride, some people have been known to claim that they've gotten bruises because of how violently the airtime sends you into the lap bar. Personally, it's never bothered me, but some people say you can counteract that by really tightening the seat belt really tight, as tight as you can. But like I said, it's never bothered me, and I'm a big person. I'm 6'3", so hopefully it won't bother you either. But the seatbelt trick is something that people claim has worked. As far as where to sit on this ride, obviously you want to try the front and the back. Personally, I think it's a back row ride, but I prefer the second seat from the back because you're not on the wheel, and it's most likely going to give you a smoother, more comfortable experience. There are others out there that claim that row 3 is a magic seat, that it gets you the most airtime. Personally, I don't find that to be true, but you know, try it, see what you think. But to me, it's a back row coaster. The back row, the very back row, or the second seat from the back is usually where I sit. Something else that people keep bringing up about this ride is that it should get the Steel Phantom treatment. For those of you who don't know what the Steel Phantom treatment is, Steel Phantom was a roller coaster, a similar style roller coaster at Kennywood Amusement Park in Pittsburgh, and it became really rough, and the park was going to remove it. But instead of removing it, what it did was it replaced the track. It brought in a new company, replaced the track, and gave it new trains with new restraints. And what it did was make the experience more smooth and more enjoyable. Now, some people have said that that's not possible for this ride because the support structure couldn't handle it. You know, I'm not a roller coaster manufacturer. I'm not an engineer. You know, I don't know if it could be done on Magnum or not. But as long as the integrity of the ride is kept intact, I think it would be a good idea. I mean, why not make the coaster smoother, more enjoyable with better restraints? As long as it follows the same path, I think that would be a good idea for the coaster. Some people think that's sacrilegious. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So for a final rating, if you're new to the channel, I rank coasters in a tier system. The top tier I call elite. The second I call good. The third is called fun. And the fourth and last tier is called bad. I think Magnum XL 100 is an elite roller coaster. There aren't very many coasters out there that go faster than 70 miles per hour. There aren't very many that are taller than 200 feet. Add to it the air time and the length. I mean, it's a long ride. I think it's an elite coaster. So let me know what you think if you've been on Magnum XL 200. You know, do you agree with my analysis? Do you not agree? You know, let me know. I like hearing other people's opinions. Alright, so if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more content from my channel. Take care. Bye.